go up, I want to make sure that I'm pushing under the bar and receiving that push jerk as well. That's going to be important. Make sure that when we get to that hip, we're opening up and then pulling ourselves under that bar, and we're receiving in a power position today, right? Which means that my hips are going to be above parallel. I'm going to come down to my front squat. As I stand that last bit, I'm going to pop those hips and drive that bar overhead. No rebend in the knee. What's up, guys? Daniel with CrossFit Simplicity. We're bringing you our CrossFit Simplicity Weekly Rundown. This is for the week of December 5th through the 10th. We actually have a really exciting week coming up. Remember, we're in a two-part strength cycle right now. We've already finished part 1. We took a little break. Now we're in part 2. This week is going to be week 2 of part 2, so some great accessory lifts for our Olympic lifts coming up. We also have some really good conditioning pieces. We're going to be doing a bit of a play on some of our traditional CrossFit benchmark workouts. It's going to spice them up, maybe make them a little bit harder. Also, be sure to check your announcements and your emails this week. We have a lot of great stuff coming up for December, including 9 a.m. Saturday, December 17th is going to be our Christmas party. Bring a friend day. Invite your friends. We're going to have lots of games, lots of fun. It's going to be a good time. And the monthly challenge for December is going to add in 2,000, that's right, 2,000 extra air squats inside or outside of class for the month of December. We'll have a little prize. So let's head to the whiteboard and break it down. So remember, we are in week 2 of our strength cycle. Our lifting days this week are going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you're scheduling your week, it's always kind of important to kind of prioritize these, as remember, this cycle builds on itself, so we don't want to miss. We have a great complex on Tuesday. It's going to be a front squat, push press, push jerk complex. We're working to a heavy. Remember that our push press is probably going to be our weakest movements. That's going to be our limiting factor, but our sets are going to look like this. Unrack our bar, 2 front squats directly into 1 push press, directly into a push jerk, seeing how heavy we can get on that complex. So make sure we build and warm up accordingly. Wednesday is going to be some great position work. We're going to have a complex with snatch grip deadlift and power snatch. So what that means is we'll do 3 snatch grip deadlifts, maintaining a good, nice position through that entire pull. When we finish that last one back at the ground, we'll go directly into 2 power snatches without dropping the bar. And then probably favorite day of the week, it's going to be a lot of fun. Friday, we're going to test out a heavy thruster. So this isn't something that we usually test, but it is one of those fun movements just to kind of grab a bar and see what we can do. The good thing about today is we're not going from the floor. We'll go from a rack. You can unrack, get set, go down there and see what we can do, have a lot of fun. So let's break these down a little bit. For our lifting complex on Tuesday, with that front squat, push press, push jerk, it's going to be really important to maintain a good front rack position while I'm up top, but also in the bottom of that squat. So remember to keep a nice tight core, a good solid front squat, so when we stand up that second rep, we're in a good position and we're ready to go overhead. Also remember, on that push jerk, as I drive up, I'm going to need to push myself under that bar to receive and then finish that rep by standing up all the way. This is going to be from the rack today. So Wednesday, we have our snatch complex. This is going to include a snatch grip deadlift, and the main thing we're looking for here is not to build some kind of super strength in our deadlift. We're really looking to get strong throughout the entirety of our snatch pull. So when I'm going into these, it's going to be important not to focus too much on the weight, but more focus on good position throughout that pull. So in my first pull, at the knee, and in my second pull, and then when I finish right here at my hip. So as I'm going through with that bar, I'm not trying to be fast, I'm just trying to maintain a really good position. Now after we do those 3 and we go back to the ground for those power snatches, now we want to put it together under some speed. Make sure that when we get to that hip, we're opening up and then pulling ourselves under that bar, and we're receiving in a power position today, right? Which means that my hips are going to be above parallel. I'm actually really excited about Friday. It's a movement that we see in conditioning pieces a lot, but not in like a weightlifting setting. But it's always fun to know, like, hey, what's my 1 rep max thruster? So that is Friday. Remember that this is a front squat into a push press, but there's no pause, there's gonna be no delay. So when I go down into my front squat, as I stand, I'm not gonna stand and stop and try to press. I'm gonna come down to my front squat. As I stand that last bit, I'm gonna pop those hips and drive that bar overhead. No rebend in the knee. So this is just a fun, get kind of gritty with it, but be safe. And then remember, the great part about today is it's gonna be from the rack, just like a front squat. Unrack that bar, grip it as tight as you can, step back and really go for it. Now that we know what the strength is, let's head back to the whiteboard and take a quick breakdown of this week's workouts. All right, Monday. We're actually gonna do something a little bit different this Monday. We're gonna have a bit of a lighter approach to the week instead of like a hard hitter like we see sometimes. This piece is gonna be pretty gymnastic. It's not gonna be too crazy on our bodies. What we've got is, pay attention to the layout here. We've got 6 sets on this part 1. We're gonna have 1 set every 2 minutes and 30 seconds. A set of that is gonna be 12 25-foot shuttle runs. That just means I'm gonna run 25 foot, that's 1 rep, 25 foot back, that's another rep. So basically, if you're thinking about it, it's basically 6 times down and back in 25-foot increments. Remember that as we cross that line for our shuttle, we want both feet to cross the line and touch the ground. We finish our shuttle runs, we're gonna go into 15 GHD sit-ups. Anytime you have remaining after your 15 GHD sit-ups is your rest before set number 2 starts and gives us another 2.5 minutes. After we finish those 6 sets, we're gonna have a 5-minute rest, and we're gonna go into 6 sets with the exact same layout, 1 set every 2.5 minutes, 60 double unders, 20 push-ups. This one's gonna be pretty breathy. That's a lot of volume on the push-ups also. Be careful there, right? Quite a bit of push-ups, so if we need to grab a band, throw it around the arms, go to a bar push-up, that's gonna be a really good option as well. And remember, we'll have a modification for each one of these. So if GHDs aren't your jam right now, we'll drop to the sit-ups. We can change the doubles out for singles and all that good stuff. Now, Tuesday is gonna be a little bit familiar to some of you guys. It's actually a play on a really famous benchmark workout, DT. Anybody recognize the pattern here? So DT is usually 12, 9, 6. We're looking at 24, 18, 12. Our bar is gonna be light. So basically what we have here is a higher rep, lighter version of DT. We're gonna start out 24 deadlifts, then going into 18 hang power cleans, 12 shoulder to overhead. If you remember DT, you know that it really blows your grip up and attacks it. So you're gonna make sure that you don't go super big at the beginning, right, and have some really early burnout. We wanna make sure that we're managing some consistent sets. Watch your clock for rest. Try not to rest more than 10 or 15 seconds as you put the bar down. That would even be a little bit much. We're looking for about 4-minute rounds if we wanna stay under the cap today. Wednesday, we are back at it with the Frankenstein benchmark workouts. We're taking these benchmark workouts and mess them up a little bit. So Jackie, anybody familiar? This is definitely a play on Jackie. So what we've got going on today is a chipper. It's just 1 round straight through 4 times. 1,000-meter row for the guys, 850 for the ladies. Then we're going into 75 wall balls, 25 burpee pull-ups, right? So kind of Jackie on steroids here. Things to think about as far as pacing. We want a pretty aggressive pace on the row, but not max effort, because we've got to be able to come off and get to some of those wall balls. So good, steady, hard, 85, 90% effort on the row. And then we're just looking for really good, steady sets, good work through these wall balls, burpee pull-ups. We're trying to finish this in about 11 to 13 minutes. Thursday, we have a cool piece today, similar layout to Monday with our design here. So we've got 6 sets, 1 set every 3 minutes. Again, meaning when you finish the last movement, whatever time you have remaining in that 3 minutes is your time to rest. We're looking to knock each set out in about 2 minutes. Very simple here today. We have 10 toes to bar, 15 box jump overs, and then 10 more toes to bar. This is gonna get pretty grippy, so break things up early and often if you need to, but ideally, we like to see these toes to bar done in 1 to 2 sets. Remember, last thing on the box jump overs, you do not have to stand up all the way, but both feet do have to touch the top of the box, and anytime we're doing box jump overs, remember risk reward there. We wanna move fast and get a good workout, but we wanna be safe, so watch those feet. All right, guys, as much as everyone loved the ascending thruster ladder this past week, we are gonna switch it up. We're gonna give you the descending thruster ladder. So everybody likes that. Descending is better. This is gonna be a tough one today on the legs. Couple little nice things about this workout. One, it is descending, so as you go through, your reps are getting shorter and shorter. Secondly, that thruster weight is light today. 75 for the guys, 55 for the ladies. If that doesn't sound light to you, that's where you need to listen to your coach and scale that back. This should be light, so light that the few brave souls will do the thrusters unbroken. I don't know, we will see. So manage this, make sure you're biking at a pace that allows you to get those calories done, but still be able to get right to that thruster bar. Remember that the assault bike does not reward mediocrity, so better to rest and hit it hard than just to pedal really slow. But send this one on Friday and we'll start the weekend off right. All right, guys, that is all we've got for this week's edition of the CrossFit Simplicity Weekly Rundown. It's looking like a great week. I hope you guys are excited to get into class. Remember, always try to stay as consistently as possible. not a big focus on results, more focus on getting here consistently, and you're gonna see those results. Remember that we are doing a Christmas cheer family this year, so you're gonna see some tags on our Christmas tree. If you have a chance, grab one of those, bless somebody this Christmas season. Now get plenty of rest, relaxation, and recovery so we can hit it hard in class on Monday. Hold on, you just already hit it? Let me chew up this skin in my mouth and I'll get going. And get in the gym and you're gonna wanna, you'll see those results. I'll do it again. Dang, that was good too. I'm just gonna run another one. I just directed all. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, let's do another one. See, we already weren't gonna say that. You didn't wanna say that?
Yeah, that's fine.